In a fierce political clash that has shaken the Conservative Party, Jacob Rees-Mogg has delivered a scathing rebuke to Tory leadership hopefuls, accusing them of failing to recognise the importance of collaborating with Nigel Farage's Reform UK. Rees-Mogg laid the blame for the rift squarely on the Tories, declaring, "It's our fault, not his." His explosive support for Farage underscores the deepening crisis within the Conservative Party as it struggles to chart its path forward. Stay tuned for the full story, and don't forget to like and subscribe for updates. The political fault lines within the UK Conservative Party have become more visible than ever after Jacob Rees-Mogg, a key figure within the party's traditionalist wing, voiced strong support for Nigel Farage. Rees-Mogg's sharp criticism of the party's leadership hopefuls, who include figures like Suella Braverman, Penny Mordaunt and Rishi Sunak, stems from their unwillingness to engage with Farage's Reform UK. This disagreement has ignited a larger debate about the future of conservatism in Britain, with Rees-Mogg positioning himself as an advocate for strategic reform and closer ties to Farage's movement. The crux of Rees-Mogg's argument is that Farage's Reform UK represents the sentiments of a significant portion of the electorate, particularly those who feel the Conservative Party has lost touch with its base. Rees-Mogg's endorsement of Farage is not just a call for unity, but a strategic necessity to avoid splitting the vote on the right. "Nigel is a formidable force in British politics," Rees-Mogg remarked during a heated discussion, "and for us to ignore him and his movement would be a grave mistake." The leadership contenders have been largely silent or non-committal on the issue of allying with Reform UK, focusing instead on defining their individual visions for the party. Kemi Badenoch and Suella Braverman have both pitched themselves as defenders of conservative principles, but their reluctance to acknowledge Farage's influence suggests a broader disconnect between the party's elite and its voter base. Meanwhile, Rishi Sunak and Penny Mordaunt have also struggled to position themselves as future-oriented leaders, with critics arguing that their platforms lack the dynamism necessary to appeal to voters disillusioned with the status quo. Rees-Mogg's rebuke comes at a time when the Conservative Party is facing an identity crisis. With polls indicating a steady decline in voter support, particularly among traditional Tory voters who feel alienated by the party's handling of Brexit and immigration, the pressure is mounting. Farage's message of robust national sovereignty and tighter immigration controls resonates deeply with this segment of the electorate, and Rees-Mogg's support for him reflects the urgency of addressing these concerns before the next general election. Nigel Farage, who is no stranger to controversy, has been clear in his stance that Reform UK is ready to stand on its own if the Conservatives fail to engage in serious discussions about a partnership. Farage has long championed populist issues like immigration control, economic reform, and the restoration of British sovereignty post-Brexit, issues that many Tory voters feel the party has neglected. His refusal to back down from these positions has garnered him a loyal following, and the growing threat of Reform UK pulling significant votes away from the Conservatives has forced the party to consider its options. Rees-Mogg's intervention could be seen as a last-ditch effort to prevent this electoral fragmentation. His support of Farage sends a clear signal to Tory leadership contenders. The party's future may depend on their willingness to compromise and align with Reform UK on key issues. Farage himself has welcomed Rees-Mogg's comments, reiterating that Reform UK is not a spoiler party, but a serious political force ready to enact real change. The tension within the party is compounded by wider concerns over the direction the UK is heading in. Rees-Mogg has been critical of the Conservative government's handling of key issues like economic recovery, post-Brexit trade deals, and crucially, immigration. Many voters, particularly those who backed Brexit, feel the government has failed to deliver on its promises, and Farage's platform offers a more uncompromising approach to these issues. Rees-Mogg's backing of Farage is thus not just a tactical move, but a reflection of broader dissatisfaction within the Conservative base. Amidst this political turmoil, GB News has stepped up to host the first televised Conservative Party leadership debate later this month. This event promises to be a defining moment for the party, as leadership candidates will face off in front of millions of viewers, presenting their visions for the future of the party and, by extension, the UK. The leadership debate is seen as an opportunity for candidates like Rishi Sunak, Suella Braverman and Kemi Badenoch to distinguish themselves and make a direct appeal to the public, especially as the party grapples with its internal divisions. The debate will likely focus on several pressing issues, including the economy, the UK's post-Brexit trajectory, and immigration, a topic that has become particularly contentious in light of Farage's growing influence. With Reform UK breathing down their necks, the leadership hopefuls will need to offer more than platitudes if they hope to reignite voter enthusiasm and stave off electoral losses. The GB News-hosted debate also reflects the shifting media landscape, with the network increasingly positioning itself as the go-to platform for conservative and populist voices. The stakes for the leadership hopefuls could not be higher. If they fail to convince the public that they are capable of leading the party, and by extension the country, there is a very real possibility that the party could splinter, with a significant portion of its base turning to Reform UK. The debate will be an opportunity not only to address the party's internal challenges, but also to lay out a coherent and compelling vision for the future. Whether the candidates can rise to the occasion remains to be seen. On the opposite side of the political spectrum, Labour leader Keir Starmer is also feeling the heat, this time from an unlikely source: Elon Musk's father, Errol Musk. In a scathing critique, Errol Musk accused Starmer of creating a two-tier Britain where ordinary citizens are increasingly marginalised. Musk's criticism focused on Starmer's immigration policies and the Labour Party's broader approach to governance, suggesting that the UK is heading towards social unrest under his leadership. This isn't the first time Starmer has come under fire for his policies, but the intervention of the Musk family adds an international dimension to the debate. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, has previously clashed with Starmer over issues like free speech and government regulation, and his father's comments only amplify the criticism. Errol Musk's accusation that citizens are being arrested for objecting to unbridled immigration has sparked further debate about the direction the Labour Party is taking the country. Starmer's leadership has been marked by attempts to strike a balance between progressive policies and maintaining traditional Labour values, but his handling of immigration and economic inequality has left many feeling disillusioned. With international figures like the Musks weighing in, Starmer's leadership is increasingly under scrutiny, both at home and abroad. The UK's political landscape is fraught with tension as both major parties face internal divisions and external challenges. Jacob Rees-Mogg's explosive endorsement of Nigel Farage's Reform UK has shaken the Conservative Party to its core, forcing leadership contenders to confront the growing threat from within. Meanwhile, Keir Starmer's Labour Party is grappling with criticism from unexpected quarters, with international voices like Errol Musk raising concerns about the future of the UK under his leadership. As these political battles unfold, one thing is clear: the next election cycle could bring dramatic shifts in the country's political order. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the latest developments in this unfolding political saga.